Well, today the US president has turned his focus to his big, beautiful bill. He's held an event here at the Capitol to try and convince reluctant Republicans to back it. Already there's elements being removed, and one in particular Australia was deeply concerned about. The US Secretary Scott Bessent has asked the removal of the so-called revenge tax of the big, beautiful bill. Our political reporter Ruben Spargo is all over this for us from Canberra. Ruben, this means a lot and will save companies in particular, Australian companies in particular, a lot of money.
Good morning, Laura. Yes, this section of the bill would have allowed the US to retaliate against other nations that impose special taxes on US tech companies. Australia has the Media Bargaining Code, which forces these businesses to pay for local news content. The bill would also remove exemptions enjoyed by pension funds, which caused alarm for the super industry. Treasurer Jim Chalmers pressed for the removal of Section 899 of the bill when he spoke with his US counterpart this week. Scott Bessent posted on X this morning, "I've asked the Senate and House to remove the Section 899 protective measure from consideration in the One Big Beautiful Bill. This understanding with our G7 partners provides greater certainty and stability for the global economy and will enhance growth and investment in the United States and beyond." Anthony Albanese responded to this post just a short while ago.
This would adversely impact on Australian investment if it had have been implemented, particularly on investment from superannuation companies. And one of the things that we held earlier this year in Washington DC was a round table of Australian investment funds who are willing and keen to invest in the United States. Just one way in which the Australia-US economic relationship is an important one.
Yeah, Anthony Albanese has a few problems on his hands at the moment. The big, beautiful bill and Section 899, just one of them. Now, there's a lot of pressure on defence spending. We knew that from NATO. And now that NATO partners agreed to 5% of GDP, it has put more pressure on Australia to lift our percentage of defence spending. But it doesn't seem like we're going to budge.
No, Laura, yes, the White House is not saying whether Australia and other countries in the Asia-Pacific could face higher tariffs if they do not comply with Donald Trump's demands to lift defence spending. This week, the president has threatened Spain after their Prime Minister rejected NATO's new defence spending target of 5% of GDP by 2035. The Australian government is considering lifting its 2033 target of 2.33%, but has resisted the 3.5% calls by Donald Trump's administration. Karoline Leavitt, the White House press secretary, was asked about this morning.
He's made the same demands of Asia-Pacific allies of the United States, including Australia, where I'm from. How does the NATO result impact negotiations with Asia-Pacific allies?
If our allies in Europe and our NATO allies can do it, I think our allies and our friends in the Asia-Pacific region can do it as well.
These comments were put to Anthony Albanese just a short while ago. He's not budging.
Well, we have increased our defence investment. We've increased it by $57 billion over the medium term and by more than $10 billion in the short term as well. Now, what we're doing is making sure that Australia has the capability that we need. That's what we're investing in. We'll continue to do that, invest in our capability and invest in our relationships.
It was one topic that may have come up between Donald Trump and Anthony Albanese. They were set to meet on the sidelines of the G7 earlier this month. That scheduled chat fell through. The White House was also asked about future plans for a meeting.
He missed out on a number of bilateral meetings that were scheduled with other world leaders, including the Prime Minister of Australia. Are there plans afoot to make up for those meetings with the world leaders that he missed out on?
Yeah, I think many of those world leaders understood the situation happening in the Middle East. He has made up a couple of those meetings, and he has had direct phone calls with some of those leaders he was supposed to meet with as well.
Laura held phone calls with some leaders Not all. Anthony Albanese has held 3 phone calls with the president in the last 9 months. He's previously said the pair will meet when it's convenient for both of them.